We are. We're on. We're on. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to another Saturday Night Live. This is an opportunity for anybody out there to talk about anything, whatever you want to talk about. You can talk about it. Talk about it with me. Either you want to talk about beer, you want to talk about anything, just anything you want to talk about, politics, Love Island, anything. You could talk it over with me and have a couple of beers. So this is why I do this. I do this because why Bryson Payne with a double barrel name? He's up early. Hello, Ryan Bryson Payne with a double barrel name. He says, "Hi there. Do you come here often?" I don't really. No, I just keep bumping into you, Ryan, out of out of habit more than anything. But it's not anybody else who's watching to talk about whatever they want over a beer. If it's whether or not Love Island, you can talk about Love Island if you want. I don't watch it myself, but you can talk about it. Or you can talk about anything. Aaron Miller. Aaron Miller, he's a boy. He's been hanging around waiting for me. Aaron Miller, how great are Saturdays? Saturdays are brilliant, Aaron. Saturdays are brilliant. Thoughts on Amanda Holden? She's an old slut. She's terrible. She's about as loose as she stinks of kippers. She stinks of kippers. Warren Bryson Payne with the double barrel name. You old sort. Who's it going? What are we drinking tonight then? Oh, Warren Bryson Payne. We're drinking that one. That's what we're drinking. We're drinking the old Peculiar. And what's a cracking beer that is. So, what are you boys drinking? Let us know. Yes, Amanda Holden. She must stink. She's had it everywhere, and she does a fucking double ball as well. Anyway, what about Love Island? You boys been watching Love Island? Because I tell you what, I fucking haven't, but I thought you boys might want to watch it. But for me personally, Love Island for me is a complete waste of time because it's got people in it. 1897, fake Cronenberg. Does that say 1897 on there? One Bryson Payne? I don't think it does. That's a legendary beer. Don't know what we're hanging about there. Not a chance. No, Ryan Bryson don't like his Love Island. Fair enough. Aaron Miller just had a couple of wife beaters. Gonna crack open a Sierra Nevada in a sec. What one, Aaron Miller? Is it a pale ale? Is it a torpedo? Or is it the Californian IPA, which I've got a can of through there about meters? Have you beaten your wife up? Tell us. Do tell us. Do tell us what you've been drinking. I don't blame you boys for that. Don't blame you boys whatsoever. So the beer I'm doing, I'm going to do a live review, I think, as we're warming up. Is a beer which I've been seeing a lot of today, and it is the Theakston Old Peculiar. Now, I did various videos on this over the years, and this is a cracking beer. There you go. There's the backside for you. About £1.70. And the reason why I'm doing this because I watched Terry's Quick Beer Reviews. He's not watching yet, mind you. And he did a review on it. And I thought, well, I'll tell you what, I'll just crack open the old beers, the old ones, like you do, and see what it's all about. So I'm going to whack this in, like we do. I'll just get rid of that. I've got a cat here. Anybody who's got cats, you know what I mean. So, yeah. So appearance in the glass, boys and girls. It's like a creamy, spacious looking head, quite a dark beer, as you can see there. On the nose, yeah, a little bit of roastness there, a little bit of dark fruitness, dark fruit, should I say? Bit of plum, maybe. Bit of plum. I'm going to go in. So cheers, Ryan. Cheers, Aaron, for joining me early on this one. I'm a bit early, I must admit. It's not even 6 o'clock yet, and I don't think people really watch YouTube until when they're back. It's lovely. Traditional, lovely stuff. So there you go. So we've already talked about Amanda Holden. She's a dirty old scrote. We talked briefly about Love Island, and I thought you boys out there might have watched Love Island, but there you go. So, Wine by some pain. This is what happens when someone puts something up. Fuck all the old bloody Love Islanders, a bunch of wimps, and they bunch of wimps. This is what I can't understand. This is what I can't understand, right? This is the problem I have with all this celebrity culture site, yeah, because they go, they think it's right that they should inject themselves with fucking Botox, in the tits, in the lips, in the fucking ears, in the fucking anywhere, cheeks, the lot. Just put loads of Botox in, and I think that's not going to harm them. But how wrong are we, boys and girls? Boys predominantly, Wine and Aaron. They are, they're going about cancer and they're going about people getting breast cancer and stuff like that. How stupid are people doing this kind of shit? This is about as bad as taking heroin. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. I'm gonna just throw in my political point of view tonight, and that is about inject me with Von Boston Payne says inject me with Duval. You're man off my own heart, mate. That is exactly what I would do as well. Inject myself with Duval. How great would that be? How great would it be to have a continual high of Duval? Be brilliant, wouldn't it? You wouldn't give a shit about fuck all. Exactly. I totally agree with you, Warren Bryson Payne, that you can inject me with Duval and anything if you want. So yeah, I've nearly got off on that. Yeah. So I'm going to go back to my political point of view this week. This is my Aaron Miller says, inject me with that Wasfort. I'll tell you what, that'd be a hell of a high, wouldn't it? Inject you with the old Wasfort in there, Wasfort 10 in there, Wasfort 8 in there, Duval in the leg, right in there. Happy fucking days, wouldn't it? It really would be. So I've still got my political point of view this week to address to you boys, and that is we all know that Boris Johnson is gonna be way to go, isn't it? It would be, wouldn't it? It'd be fantastic just to kind of like inject yourself with decent beer in the old arm, like you do, and it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be brilliant? It would just be, you could go out driving because, obviously breath test, they wouldn't pick you up in your breath test, would they? You could come across as sober as a judge, but pissed up under the skin. That'd be an absolute brilliant idea. I don't know why anyone hasn't thought of that at all. I really don't. I really don't know why anybody hasn't thought of that. What a fantastic idea, Mr. Miller. I'll put you down for the new Prime Minister, I think. Anyway, getting back to politics. Boris Johnson looks like he's going to get the PM's job, right? I'm going to say what I think about that, and that is, well, Boris Johnson was pivotal in England, well, Britain leaving Europe, okay? He started it off. He was the one who went round in that stupid red bus and told everybody that the NHS was going to get loads of money, which they were in the first place, and conned everybody. And it's completely fucked it up. So as far as I'm concerned, Boris Johnson, if you're watching Boris, you might do. You can fucking sort it out, mate. Because I tell you what, I think 99.99999% of this country is absolutely fucked off with you. So there you go. That's my political stance this week, boys and girls. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'd love to know. So, what have I been doing today? Well, I've been down to a festival and I've been doing some work at Theakston's Brewery If you haven't already know, that's where I've got this from. I've been flogging it all day, and it's been brilliant. Aaron Miller, if I was PM, allow drink driving, low age of consent, minimum beer size 500 ml. I'll win over the nation. I'll tell you what, Aaron Miller, and I'll tell you what will be really good as well. That every pub should have strippers. Put that in your manifesto. Every pub, strippers. You got to have it in you. Stick in your manifesto. I'll vote for you, Aaron. You know I would. You know I would. Stick in your manifesto. Every pub should have strippers. And they should be dancing and cavorting all day. Ban women's football. Women's World Cup. Who gives a fuck? I don't. Ban that because let's face it, they belong. We talked about this before. We've talked about this before. They belong at the kitchen sink. At the kitchen sink, that is where they belong. You know, that's the way I see it. You know, they belong at the kitchen sink doing your dinner. None of this playing football malarkey. That's a man's job. Definitely. So, boys and girls, thank you for joining this live one. If you're here, give us a thumbs up. You know, it's a slow start tonight. I'll be honest. I'm on early. I'm not expecting hardly anybody to be on. Only the hardcore, and I know who the hardcore is, and that is Ryan and that is Aaron, because they're hardcore boys. I don't muck about these boys. They know what they want. They want entertainment, and can give them entertainment in spades. I really could. You know, I'm a natural born entertainer, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Natural born entertainment. So, as I was saying, I've been working here today. Been at a beer and bread festival just outside Fountains Abbey. If you're in Yorkshire, you know where Fountains Abbey is. If you're not, then you know, fair enough. And it was owned by the National Trust, and decided to set up a tent and everything. And we were there last week. It wasn't very good, to be honest. Last week, following day, went to the Yorkshire show, which was better. Anyway, we kind of set up. We took all this time to set this bloody thing up and get the, you know, get the beers and the pumps going and everything, and try to, you know, talk to like-minded people about, you know, the history of Theakston and all their beers and that. And it was a complete disaster. It really was. I don't know why we were told to do this, because National Trust, for once, right? National Trust. I like the National Trust, but there's lots of posh people who go to National Trust. There's lots of people, middle class people, and they go to National Trust because they take their little picnic boxes, they take their little rucksacks, and the last thing they want to see at a National Trust is some sort of bread and beer type of montage or festival going on. You don't see it, do you? You don't do it. So, of course, we were sent there with all other, you know, one other brewery was there, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. One other brewery was there. And that was a Bad Seed Brewery. And they were like us. I think, why did we bother doing it? Because we got no interest whatsoever. I don't know whether it's because National Trust charge it, you know, extortionate rates for their pitches. I don't know, or we had the wrong clientele. Most probably both. It didn't work, so we wasted our time setting it up, and I think we only sold about 10 bottles all day, which isn't enough, and it wouldn't pay for us. So we decided to end it early, but the next few weeks, I know it's got to be busy because we're off to some beer events throughout Yorkshire and maybe over towards Cumbria and Lancashire as well. So we're looking forward to doing that type of thing. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? You know, you can have a place like the National Trust talking something up, saying it's going to be a brilliant, brilliant beer festival. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be awesome and everything. Lots of brewers are going to be there. We're going to sell this, we're going to sell that, and we're going to do this and do that. And it never materializes because it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Aaron Miller says, Kent Beer Festival next month in Canterbury. I know Canterbury very well, Aaron. Years ago, I used to go to Canterbury a lot. And yes, tell us where the Kent Beer Festival is situated in Canterbury. We'll be there on the Saturday the 20th. Fantastic. I hope you have a good time, Aaron. I hope you had a better time than I had today. I think there'll be plenty of beers. If you go hit the thirds, Aaron, and go through the whole lot, you'll be fine. But you get the odd dickhead at beer festivals who turns up and think, well, the strongest one you go, and I'll have a full pint of that, and then I'll have another pint of it again afterwards. And of course, they end up being shit-faced within about an hour and a half. But if you keep to your thirds, you can go through the whole lot. And enjoy the whole lot, if you know what I mean. Aaron Miller says Ryan will be the one throwing up. I'm sure Ryan could hold his own. Ryan, if you want to respond to that comment in the comments, murder Aaron in the comments. I'm sure you could hold your own, mate. Doesn't matter if you got a double-barreled name or anything. When people say, they kind of like link people with double-barrel names with Pims and kind of like straw hats, and things like that. But obviously, Ryan, you could prove him wrong, mate. You could prove Aaron exactly how much bollocks you've got. So tell him. So Warren Bryson Payne has responded to that. Being ruined beyond belief. Doesn't matter about that, Ryan. That's what it's all about, being ruined at the right time, at the end of the night. Ryan Bryson Payne says, nah, bollocks like peas. Aaron's right. You've got bollocks like peas. I'm sure you just jesting. I think you're just jesting. I think you got bigger bollocks than space hoppers. Aaron Miller says, only problem with the beer festivals is that they start on a Thursday. Work during the week, so by the Saturday, all the good and differently favoured beers will be gone. Well, there's only one answer for that. Being nosy out the window. There's only one answer for that, Aaron. And that answer is to say to you is to take some time off work. Or if they don't give you the time off work, flip in, take off, Skype, just ring in sick and say, well, ring in sick. I don't want to kind of like, put you off or anything. But, it's my advice to you is, little porky pie here and there doesn't really hurt anybody, if you know what I mean. So that's my advice to you, Aaron. Skive off work for it. Then you won't miss out on the beers. Nice one. So, boys and girls, I think the view count's gone slightly up. Whoever it is, if I get caught for this, I'm blaming you. You can blame me, mate. I couldn't give a shit. Mr. Hawthorne. Nice to see you, mate. I don't know if I'm jumping about. I most probably broke the internet again. Have I broken the internet? I'm here, Mr. Brown. It's fucked up, isn't it? It's stuck on 23. I'm jumping about. Mr. Hawthorne. He came on and he fucked me internet up. There you go, mate. There you go. Welcome to this live one. What I'm doing. I've had a hard day, Mr. Hawthorne, by the way. Been busy, knackered. Haven't sold any beer and I feel fucking like I wasted a lot of day today. Thank you very much for watching me tonight, Mr. Hawthorne. I'll just go over what we've been talking about. We have been talking about what we've been talking about. We have been talking about a bit of Amanda Holden. We've thrown that in. We've been talking a little bit about politics. We've thrown that in. We've also talked about beer festivals. We've sprinkled that over like you do. And we've also been talking about Mr. Hawthorne. I still don't know if I can make it to you, do, but I've asked today about it, but we'll see. So the RSVP Dewberry is still out. Aaron Miller, we've been talking about Amanda Holden, yes, and someone mentioned the age of consent. The age of consent. Do you think they should lower the age of consent, or do you think they should increase the age of consent? I really don't know. Murder me in the comments, boys and girls. What you think? The age of consent. Do you think if the lawn's kind of like the lawn is kind of like long, it should be trimmed, or do you think that you wait till the proper age of consent? There you go. I think Aaron Miller has been watching too much Emmerdale, but I'm not going to go into it. Ryan Bryson Payne says, lower it immediately. Ryan Bryson Payne, lower the age of consent immediately. So you a bit of a Jimmy Savile, are you, Ryan? I'm stuck again. Look, I'm 20. Look, I'm jumping about. I'm jumping about again. Before the cops come knocking, or I'm fucked, says Ryan Bryson Payne. I'm jumping about. I can see it. I'm going, jumping about. I don't care. It might settle down. But as I'm in the sticks, this is about the best I can think. You should. Aaron Miller says, who wants to increase it? Well, people who are into their grannies might want to increase it. People who are into, riding the ripples of, water retention, they might want to do it, might they? Don't know why. Everybody will be out grabbing a granny. Ryan, you're proper turbo. Aaron Miller says, Ryan, you're a proper turbo nonce. Ryan, you're a proper turbo nonce. Yeah, fucker. Ryan Bryson Payne says she swore she was 16, Your Honour. Yeah, that's the old excuse, is it, Ryan? She swore it was 16, She swore she had the old bit of the old rug round the fucking crotch. Nice one, Ryan. Yeah. I swear she was, Your Honour. I swear she was. So there you go. I don't know what I brought that out for, but you got two, if you're neutral watching this later on, you got two lots of people who have different views. You got Aaron Miller, who thinks that, you obviously stay as it is. Fair dues, Aaron. Then you got Ryan Bryson Payne, who thinks he should drop the age of consent down to about fucking 9 years old. Ryan Bryson Payne says, with the double barrel name, he said Darren's a bit quiet. Darren's a bit quiet. It doesn't matter, does it? He's most probably thinking. Mr. Hawthorne, he's saying you're a bit quiet. Sit on the fence, Mr. Hawthorne. I don't mind you. I don't mind you sitting on the fence and sitting back and watching this and watching whatever you're watching on the box. Maybe if it's kind of like, I don't know. Anyway, Ryan Bryson Payne says 9, don't like them mature. Ryan Bryson Payne says 9, I don't like them mature. Fair enough, Ryan. If you don't like them that way, fair enough. I think what we should do, we should go back to a normal conversation. This is getting risky, and I don't want to get banned by YouTube at all. I just, three intelligent people watching me at the moment. I just thought I asked that question. Obviously, you got Ryan and Aaron, different views, which is fair enough. Different views, which is fair enough. So, what we're going to go on to next. People out there, tell me what we should talk about next, because I'm on live, and tell us. I'm going to have a swig while you decide, because this got a bit dodgy now. We should really talk about beer, but I don't think it's going to happen tonight, to be honest. It's all a bit quiet at the moment, like you do, you know. So, boys and girls, you haven't kind of like joined me yet. We've been talking about everything so far in a matter of 27 minutes. We've talked about Amanda Holden. We've talked about the age of consent. We've talked about politics. We fitted that in, politics. We a little bit brushed on the Women's World Cup, but who gives a fuck? And we've talked about briefly about beer. I've talked about my day to day, which is a waste, but I enjoyed it. Ryan Boston Payne says, "I'm only joking." We all know you're joking, Ryan. We all know you're full of bravado. We all know you're full of bravado. Everybody's full of bravado, aren't they? At the end of the day, we all know, mate. We all know. Get yourself hold of another martini extra dry or something and stick that down your neck. That's what it's all about. So we talked about that. So yeah. So people out there who haven't joined me yet, thank you for joining me. So I've had a busy day today at Theakston's. Haven't sold much. To be honest, hardly any beer has been sold. It's full of people wearing their burgers and eating their cucumber sandwiches. So here we go. Aaron Miller, he has replied, "Hello, Aaron, mate." He says, "Who gives a fuck about the Malts trying to kick a ball? As they get in the kitchen." Well, yeah, who gives a fuck about the Women's World Cup? This is what I can't understand, right? Is that, football? I'm not being sexist. This is a blatant point of view. This is exactly, common sense. Football is for men. MEN, men. It's a man's game. It's a man's game, right? Women have become above their stations. They should be at home looking after the kids, sponging off the benefits like you do and getting loads of benefits from the council. There you go. Hammer Miller says, "I bet Phil Neville is loving it though." Phil Neville, he must be one of the luckiest mans going, Phil Neville. I'll tell you what, I bet he's had a go. I bet he's had a poke at all of them, isn't he, Phil Neville, in the bloody bath afterwards. Imagine it, can you? Phil Neville. I don't think Phil Neville's. It's no job for a married man. I think Phil Neville's been kind of pushing it about through the whole lot. Wouldn't mind betting he's done a lot of them, unless it's a big butch one. I don't know if there's any butch women players out there. The ones with short hair and butch players. World Cup. Yeah, I completely understand. This isn't a brilliant make either, but it's just twats. It's a twat suit for me, Burghouse. Aaron Miller, no wonder all the ugly fuckers are playing. How do you think they got in the team? Exactly. How do you think they got into the team? All these ugly buggers. Phil Neville, he's no all painting himself, is he, Phil Neville? But I tell you what, I bet he's kind of like, pick the best looking ones to get in that team. It's a bit like school. And you got, you're picking sides at school. And you get the good ones and you get the fat, ugly ones. And the fat, ugly ones aren't going to play football. They're not built to play football. But you got the good-looking ones over there. And, of course, Phil Neville will always pick the good-looking ones, even though they're fucking shite. But there you go. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Aaron. Totally agree with you. Because, it's no place. It's no place for women football. It really isn't. It's like, going to a gym and you're working out in a gym like you do. Working out in a gym, and you get a woman comes along and starts picking up more heavier weights than you. There's now worse. Isn't that worse? That's why I don't go to gyms. I don't go to gyms for that. It'd be an absolute kind of be an absolute insult to my masculinity. Absolute insult. And for me, it would be wrong. Be absolutely wrong. You know, you go back 20 years, women knew their place. You know, women knew their place. If you ever saw the Harry Enfield video, women know your limits. It's that. You check it out. Go on Google now. Pair of you, Wine, Aaron, the lot. Go on Google, put in women know your limits to come up with Harry Enfield with his sketch. That is the main thing. It really is. So, boys and girls, it's a bit lackluster tonight. It really is. But, I'm doing this live thing. And at the moment, there's not many going on. Not much going on. But I will persevere for another half hour. Like I do. If it perks up after half hour, I'll carry on with it. But I think it feels like everybody's got, a bit of a hangover tonight, which is fair enough. So, the beers I reviewed today. I might as well show you the beers I reviewed today. These Tesco ones. I was up there. I did the two vocation beers today, and that is the Cooler Shaker and the sour, orange sour. I did them today. To be honest, the Cooler Shaker was excellent. I thought that was really good for £3. But when it came to doing the orange sour, I just thought it is okay. It was pretty forgettable, like you do, but that's the way it goes. But it is one of them beers, for £3, craft beer at the moment, it's going through the roof. So for £3, you can't really go wrong, can you? To be honest, considering it's about £8 for some beers and stuff like that. So you can't go wrong, can you? Can't at all. So just Darren Hawthorne says can of Carling. Aaron Miller says, you tried any of the Camden Brewery beers? Yes, I have, Aaron. I have indeed. I've done quite a few of them last year. The ones in Tesco's I've done, and I've done the ones in M&S. Yeah, I liked them. Definitely like their definitely like their lager. I thought their lager was excellent. Dan Hawthorne, a can of Carling. Are you drinking it, mate? Are you drinking a can of Carling? Let me know. If you are drinking a can of Carling, you should have told me. I would have bought you in a bottle of Duvel yesterday. As to sell them, some are decent. Yeah, they are decent. Camden Town Brewery. Yeah, I quite like their beers. They're inoffensive in a way. They're kind of like beers which I haven't really disliked at all. They're just quite nice beer, It's kind of like bog standard. You know what you're gonna get. Yeah, nice beers. Nice beers. You know what you're gonna get for a couple of quid. Camden Town Brewery. Yeah, big thumbs up from me. Big thumbs up. Nice brewery. Nice brewery. Never been there. I know someone who went down from up north. Went down and he said that it was a half decent brewery. So you can't go wrong, can you? You really can't. For a couple of quid they sell for in the supermarket. It's only a couple of quid outlay, so you can't really go wrong with it. To be honest, that's the way I look at it anyway. As far as Asda is selling beer on the whole, I have to say that Asda itself is up their game like Morrison's. So I'll say Moz's and Tesco. I think once one supermarket ups their game in regard of beer, then the others will follow suit, and of course I have done. I'm not too sure what Sainsbury's are doing this time of year. I haven't been in Sainsbury's for months, to be honest. From what I recollect about Sainsbury's, it was pretty boring, to be honest. I had pretty boring stuff in. So tell us in the comments exactly what Sainsbury's are doing. I'd like to know. Just going again. Cheers. Proper Yorkshire beer. Can't beat it. It's lovely. One Boston Pain with the double barrel name. Cheers wine. Last time I went to Sainsbury's, their beer selection was wank. It stayed the same as mine. It's got the same stuff in. More or less kind of like falling behind everybody, even M&S. Even M&S have got more exciting beers in these days. I'm not surprised, to be honest. I think Sainsbury's might end up in a little bit of trouble, maybe, because they're kind of like very expensive, for food and everything. Sainsbury's, they might get in a bit of a, especially they've got this thing with Argos now. I think, I don't go to Argos. Does you go to Argos? How can anybody go to a shop? You go into a shop, right? You want to buy something, yeah. So if you go into a shop and buy something, you want to see it. You want to see the fucking thing to buy it, yeah. So you go into this stupid shop called Argos, and he got these kind of like little things. You punch your catalog number in, boop 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 boop, boop 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 boop, yeah. They'll either say, "Oh, it's in stock" or "It's out of stock," right? For what you see in the catalogue. And of course, you go up to the counter, and especially if you order something which you perceive to be quite big, and they bring out a box about that big. You think, there you go, Mr. Brown, that's your washing machine or whatever. I think it's a shit way of shopping. It was a bit of a novelty when it first happened back in the 80s, because everyone was a bit mad in the 80s. Argos was a type of kind of like shop which it didn't, it did things differently to anybody else. And going into a shop, looking into a catalogue, punching in your numbers and that, and going up to the counter to pick up some plain cardboard box, could be anything in that box, and saying, "Yeah, thank you very much, cheers," and you're walking out with it, even though you haven't got a clue what's in that fucking box. It's a bit simple, isn't it, when you think about it now, But then again, going back to the 80s, everybody's kind of like into their catalogues. They were into their Grattan, they were into their K's, and they were into their Empire stores and stuff like that, the catalogues. And they used to buy something which was kind of like, used to buy things like, say, a Scalextric, the one with the cop car and a normal car kind of like flying around. And it used to be about 55 quid. And you'd be able to pay it weekly over 100 weeks, about 20 odd pence a week, something stupid like that, which was great if you were skint. Let's face it, a lot of us were skint in the 80s. But yeah, I never really got hold of Argos's kind of like concept of going into and buying a box and getting home and thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna open it now, and it could be anything in that box." Aaron Miller says, as a kid, used to spend hours and hours looking through an Argos catalogue for Xmas presents I wanted. I was the same, mate. Yeah, I remember back when I was a kid, I did have Commodore 64. For me, that was the epicenter of what I wanted as a kid, a Commodore 64 with all the games, Monty on the Run, Bounder, and Gauntlet, brilliant computer. Miller says, not even sure they do them catalogues. I'll tell you what, I can't do them catalogues anymore. Surely I'll have to look up on Google if I do the Grattan catalogue anymore. Who does a Grattan catalogue anymore? It'd be weird. It'd be weird if it's still going. Definitely would be. But yeah, it's a strange thing, and I'm surprised Argos is still going. Emma Miller says, did you have animal, vegetable, mineral? Worst C64 games ever made? No, I never had that, Aaron. I had Monty on the Run, which I loved. I love Monty on the Run. He had great music in that as well. Head Over Heels was a cracking game. I still got my 64 now, the old one. Um, I had Ghosts and Goblins, Gauntlet. They're all cracking. They're all cracking. They're all cracking games. And what I liked about the C64 is it used to fuck up all the time. It used to kind of like shift and one stop, ready, shift and one stop, press the tape. Especially as something like Gauntlet, because it used to load um, kind of like level at a time. So it used to kind of like load the first level, then it used to load the level after that. Then and it used to fuck up. It used to kind of like we got see that I was using my joystick there. Daily Thompson's decathlon. I was using my joystick there. Yeah, I'm getting reminiscing too much, Aaron. Reminiscing, yeah, I was using my joystick. There you go, I'm using my joystick. It's go like that. My connection next to you, it says up top. So I'm going to keep talking because to anybody out there who's been trying to watch me and I'm jumping about all over the place, carry on and persevere. Oh, Owen Miller says animal, vegetable, mineral was a quiz game. You think of something and it guesses what you were thinking. When you start it, it would ask, is it a carrot? And that's it. Is it a carrot? So basically, Aaron, you spend your time the funny noises like you do. And it will ask you, is it a carrot? So all you need to do is say, yes, it's a carrot, and the game would be over, would it not? And that's it. Owen Miller wouldn't need to spend hours and hours in order to get a good game, but when you turn it one of them games what we used to get back in the day, you used to have to go to Superdrug. If you went to Superdrug, they had this thing at the back of the store. And he had this span. He had all the cassettes on, 199 games. Had some cracking games on that and all. I think what else had kind of like Kickstart and all that. He'll have all the games because he was rich, and you didn't have any games because you were like you do, and he used to kind of like transfer all his games over onto a single blank tape, which was brilliant, which was really really good. But no, I mean I love me 64. It's a cracking computer, cracking. Even now when I go on it, it's kind of like it just brings back all the memories of your youth, and it's kind of like reliving your youth. With the way technology is going these days, it's going a bit too advanced for me anyway. And I think being an old guy, being an old boy like I am, you can't beat a bit of is it 16 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit, is it? One of them anyway. I can't remember. You can't beat playing a bit of that. I did have a Mega Drive briefly as Sonic the Hedgehog, which I liked. I did like Sonic the Hedgehog. I thought that was a great game. Then there was a Sega Saturn. Mate of mine, he had that. He loved it. I can't remember what he had on it, but nah, for me, it's all gone a bit too far as ever. You know what I mean? I'm going to go in with a drink, like you do. It's a bit quiet every other week instead of every week, if you know what I mean. So it's a bit of a trial and error thing for me. I enjoy doing live streams. I enjoy doing them and seeing if as long as people are interested, I would do them. And do one a couple of weeks later to see what's going on, because it's a very very quiet tonight. But I shall keep persevering like you do. So, so at the moment, and the subject I'm going to come up with next for you boys and girls out there is what's your favorite supermarket beer? So, people out there, there's only one person at the moment. People dropping out loads this week. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Aaron. One of more than one. More than one wine. You name them. What's your favourite supermarket beer? Tell us in the comments. Duvel keeps popping up. Duvel keeps popping up everywhere. It keeps popping up with everyone. It keeps popping up. It's such a classic beer. It just appeals to everybody. So, Wine, Bryson Payne, tell me, what's your favourite supermarket beer? So, stick it on, mate. Tell us. So, that's a new subject because it's a bit dead, to be honest, and the stream's a bit shit. But I shall keep going. I shall persevere for another half hour. If it doesn't pick up in another half hour, then I might call it a night like you do because it's getting a bit naff. One Bryson Payne says Duvel also fell in love. Well, tell me, you boys, tell me why you fell in love with it. Oh, the cheeky fucker. One Bryson Payne, double barrel name, says more than one viewers. Lol. What are you drinking after? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'll pick something up. Not too sure. Not too sure what I'm drinking, to be honest. Have you had that one? I'll tell you, have you had that one, boys? The old Peculiar. Have you had that one? It's nice. One Bryson Payne says, because it tastes a treat and it got me plastered. It does. Duvel does. It does do the business. Duvel, it does. It's easy drinking. That's exactly what Duvel called a nail, if you know what I mean. Aaron Miller says, I've heard the name somewhere, but I don't think I've tried it. Aaron, the old Peculiar is a classic. Enjoying, really are. Nice beer. It's the centuries, absolute century. I'm going to take this up to 7 o'clock and see what happens. Because people have, usually come in, have their tea, like you do, and, gone into after 7 o'clock. But at the moment, it's a bit low. Okay. Aaron, if it gives you a blue vein steak, you can't go wrong with that, can you? Duvel and blue vein steak. Can't you can't beat that, can you? Aaron Miller, I've heard the name somewhere, but I don't think we know about that. The old Peculiar. Turns you a bit peculiar in the comments. Murder me in the comments. Yes, the stream is knackered tonight. It looks like it's knackered. The stream is fucked. Yeah, you're right. The stream ain't working. So, boys and girls, I'm going to maybe knock you on the head. He's laughing. Wine Bryson Payne, you're laughing. You're laughing, Wine Bryson Payne. I'm going to carry on with this stream just to fool you, just to wipe that smile off them two yellow fucking emojis. Haven't got a. Why don't we? It's absolutely fucked, isn't it? I thought it was fucked, to be honest. I had a feeling it was fucked. It don't look good, does it, this stream? I think it's kind of gone a bit fucking doolally. But I'll carry on like you do. I should carry on as ever. So I'm a fighter. Carry on as ever. So yeah, I think the stream is fucked. Yeah, I think this one's knackered. But I should carry on like you do. Like you do. So no one's kind of like commenting, which is shit. Something good to talk about. I've talked about your favourite supermarket beers. Oh. I don't know, mate. Honest. I don't know. Amanda Holden, most probably. I reckon she'll be battered. Moore's Pool. Michael Barrymore's Pool. He had a hacker one, didn't he? And sticks his salary and God knows what else chucked up in it. Tell us if I'm kind of like, whoa. But never mind. It's all good fun at the end of the day, isn't it? That's what it's all about. That's what these streams are about. But I think the reason why it's pretty shit is because, I'm all over. I'm looking at that time up there. I'm all over. It's kind of like jumping about as always. Oh, Miller says we would all still have a go on it though, wouldn't we? And Amanda Holden. Don't know about that, mate. I'll have to think about that. I'd have to go in after you, wouldn't I? Might be a bit. Might be. I don't know. The other day. Don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure at all. Highly refreshing. Highly refreshing. I'm hoping this stream's gonna sort itself out. I do. At the moment, it looks fucking shit. It's kind of like up and down, up and down. Kind of like it goes from 50 seconds to about 58 seconds, just like that. I must be using dial-up. Must be. It's fucking terrible at the moment. The grandkids, though. Yes, you're right. You're right. Tell the grandkids that you've, knackered Amanda Holden up the bum. What a great idea. Fantastic. What a great idea. Where Les Dennis has been. If you know what I mean. That's a good idea, that. So, boys and girls, I'm turning up for an hour now. I've been on for an hour. I've been talking. The stream is dodgy. Apologies to anybody out there watching me, because the stream is very dodgy at the moment. But still here, talking to you, trying to make sense to you all, but it doesn't seem like it wants to work at the moment, which is always a problem. It had shit last week when I did a stream. Last week was terrible. We just kind of like lightly brushed the subjects of Amanda Holden, the women's place in society and at home, the Women's World Cup, Thingston's Old Peculiar. We've talked about supermarket beers, which the boys out there told me exactly what beers they like. It's a good book, 2014. It's a bit of a long time ago, but it's got some good stuff in. And I did notice that if I go, boom, 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 if I go to get to the English beers like you do, looking for a beer which Madonna of all people, commented on. And she said it was a champagne of real ales. This is from Madonna. And I read it the other day. If I can pick it up. Here it is. Landlord. Here, pick that up. I don't know if you can see that. Landlord. You see that? Nah, well, I'm going to read it to you anyway. Madonna. This was on the Jonathan Ross show. And she said it was a champagne of ales, which is pretty good, kind of like endorsement, I suppose, from a slag, as Aaron says. Yes, Madonna, she's more cocks than a chicken farm. What can you say about her? She's been around the block a few times, and Fred Davis, Graham Norton, or whatever. Absolutely fucking terrible. Going with beer. Yeah. So there we go. She's had a lot of mileage. She certainly has. But Aaron, would you do her? Would you do her? Would you do Madonna? That's what I'd say to you, Aaron. Would you do her? Would you? Just tell us. Tell us exactly what you think. Tell us if you would. I don't know. I really don't know. Would I? I haven't got a clue if I would do. Threesome, maybe. Might be worth it, Aaron. Threesome, but I don't know. Don't know about them two. What stinks of fish more should be the one who you're going to. This is how low this live thing becomes. This is how low my live stream becomes on a Saturday night. Ryan Brace Ryan Bryson Payne with a double barrel name. It can't get any lower than the comment he's just put up. It really can't. But I'm going to mention it to you. Ryan be become. Oh, crikey. This is how bad it becomes. But it's also very, very entertaining. What I've done, any neutrals who watch this later on, is what I've done is I've given a voice to the minority. I've given a voice to Aaron and Ryan to tell me exactly what they think about anything. And anybody out there who's watching me, put it in the comments. Tell me exactly what you think. You know, it's all the Aaron and Ryan show at the moment. So tell us, you know, if you want to say, but tell us. This is a beer channel, by the way, but it seems to be now and again we never get to the beer. We always there's a lot to talk about where Amanda Holden's concerned. There's what you've been drinking. I'll tell you what, wine. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will, for you, might change the name of this beer channel to Amanda, stuff like that. Why not? Why not? You know, no one else talks about it, do they, Ryan? In the end of the day, she thinks she's squeaker clean and anything, but she isn't, is she? She's kind of like a celebrity whore who kind of like fucked her way to the top via Les Dennis. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Ryan. Exactly. I know exactly what you mean. Amanda Holden Appreciation Channel with beer reviews. That's exactly what I should call this one. Definitely. No ifs or buts. I might even get more subs. But you know, like as always, the reason why I do my beer reviews is not about subs. It's not about getting into the click with all the other beer reviews. I am just me. I'm just me on my own, and I don't really fall in line with clicks and stuff, you know, with beer reviews. I don't know if you watch other beer reviews, but it seems to be, I don't know, could be me, could be a ring to it. Northern Southern Slag Reviews. I quite like the sound of that. That might be a good thing. Northern Southern Slag Reviews. I'll tell you what, that might be a thing to really kind of like consider for the future of this channel. Maybe Northern Southern Slag Reviews. It's got a ring to it. I can see it's got a real big ring to it. Really has. So I'm just going to go in again with me Old Peculiar. I can have that for free, Ryan. I'll tell you what, Ryan. Thank you for that. Cheers. I'll buy the merch for that channel, Aaron. Aaron, you don't have to buy the merch. You don't have to buy the merch, Aaron. I'll give it to you free of charge. I would. I'll give it to you free of charge. I'll send it to you in droves. Lots of t-shirts, the lot. Crotchless hardcore, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. So, boys and girls, if you've just joined us in this live stream, we have talked about all manner of things. We've talked about Amanda Holden mainly tonight. Hardly any beer topics, which, you know, doesn't go down in society, which I think a lot of people should think that, you know, a place for childbearing, home cooking, if you know what I mean, and serve every whim to the needs of the male. Like you do. If there's any watching me, to be honest, if you think that's wrong, then murder me in the comments. But I thought that was a good way to sort society, you know, back to these where, you know, women didn't have jobs as such. They worked. Important thing to do is you know, do that. You know, today society's got a bit to say what they think. Face etched into the nucleation point. What a fantastic idea, Ryan. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I'll blazon the face on top of it and say, here you go. There you go. Amanda Holden Pound Shop. What a great idea. Great idea indeed. Fantastic stuff. So, boys and girls, it looks like I'm going to wrap this up in a minute because it's pretty naff tonight, to be honest. Aaron and Ryan, now they're the hardcore. They comment on everything I put up live, and but at the moment, nobody else is watching me, and it's a bit dire. Don't know if it's the weather, I don't know if people are not bothered or whatever, but it's a bit naff tonight, to be honest. It's a bit desperate. But I'll tell you what, it's I'm near enough made up my mind whether to give it a rest next week and do it the week after, because it's gone a bit. I do, Aaron. I know who my pals are. Some beer reviewers, as most probably as a proper beer reviewer. I'm more or less seen as I don't know. I'm more or less seen as someone who just appears now and again. I don't, like I said, I don't individuals who like to just stick together and they talk about things and that, and they like the sound of their own voices and that. But for me, I just don't fit into that. I just do what I feel is right at the time. If you out, so I think I'll wrap this one up tonight because it's a bit naff. Aaron, Ryan, you know who you are. I might not be on next week. I might be. It depends. All stars. So thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Ryan. I'll see you whenever I pop up. Join in. I shall see you soon. Don't know if I'll see you next week or not, but there you go. So boys, you stars, you legends. See you next week.